16 archers in total are on hand, with the winners of this morning's matches going through to continue their quest for glory later today.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Archery GB National Series Final 2015, live from Woollerton Hall, Nottingham. I'm here with Martin Evans.
Good morning.
And this is a culmination of 6 legs. First 2 legs were in Oxford in May this year. Then we moved to Surrey for stages 3 and 4, and finally Exmouth for stages 5 and 6. Top 8 archers have qualified for today's final, and it looks like we've got some cracking matches.
Indeed, we're just starting our first match now between Eva Henderson-Hurst and GB team shooter Amy Oliver.
So a blend of experience and youth for our first match then.
Very much so. Eva is, I believe, is the youngest competitor we've had in the finals at 16 years old.
And Amy, obviously an Olympian.
An established Olympian, an established GB team member. She's had a good journey to get here. She's had 2 wins and a second place to get here to the final. Eva has been working hard all the way through, and she seeded in 7th place. So hopefully this should be a good pat on the back for a good year's work, and hopefully give us some encouragement for the next couple of years.
So let's just have a look at how the recurve is going to work. It's a set system, 3 arrows per set. Highest 3 arrows will win that set and be 2 points. So Amy opens up with a 6. Martin and I have been down to the practice field, and it's actually in a different direction and quite sheltered down at the practice field, isn't it?
It is, and it's in a because it's in a different direction as well. It's going to be difficult for the archers to gauge the conditions of the competition field. But I think Amy might have nailed it. It took an arrow to get there. Let's see how Eva does.
Brilliant.
Yeah, well, I think Eva's going to be coming out fighting as well now. So I think we're going to be in for a good match.
It's a great setting here at Woollerton. 9. So Eva now needs a 10 to tie this first set. Okay, so the first set really is about settling the nerves, getting your bearings, and working out the conditions.
I think Eva will be, even though she lost the first set, I think she'll be quite happy. She seems quite settled in right from the outset, really. So disregarding that first arrow, but I think we're both trying to get a handle on the field and the conditions. We're actually located in a different part of the grounds than we were last year, so I think a lot of people turned up today, and it was only then that they actually realised that whereas over the last couple of years we've been behind Woollerton Hall, the building itself, and there has been some shelter, we're actually down at the bottom part of the grounds, and it's a little bit more exposed. The shooting on top of a platform as well, and there's a number of different facets to the field of play that they weren't necessarily anticipating, so they've had to take all that on board while they're getting their heads together to actually come out and compete. Into the second set then?
Into the second set, and obviously Eva needs a good start to this set because she doesn't want Amy to get too far ahead. So she's looking very confident.
7.
Okay, still trying to dial it in. I mean, I think that the wind will play a bit of a factor today, especially as the day goes on.
8.
It's a strong arrow there from Amy. I think they're still trying to get a bit of rhythm going, perhaps.
Oh, and Eva didn't look happy with that.
She might have just got a 5 with that.
So Amy, good opportunity to take a good lead in this second set.
10 points.
You can't ask for any better than that.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's see what Eva's got.
7.
So the stands this year are actually quite close into the competitors, and they're on both sides, so it feels quite enclosed, I would think, for the archers on the stage.
25, that's enough. Yeah, it's quite cosy. It's going to be quite a cosy little atmosphere once there's more and more people coming in to have a day out at Willerton Port, and they're starting to see what's going on, and this crowd, the stands are filling up, and I think a little later on during the day when we get to the semi and the final stage, there's going to be quite a good atmosphere.
I think this is where Amy's experience is going to come in. She's obviously been on the biggest stage of the world, world champs, Olympic Games. So, this is nothing that she's not unaccustomed to.
Sure, it's all in a day's work, really, for Amy. You'd expect now.
She's got stronger as the year has gone on as well, Amy.
She's no stranger to success on an international stage as well. I remember her winning the European Field Championships in 2007, and her international career has just gotten stronger and stronger, really, and I see her as one of the foundations of the ladies team.
Yeah, and her and obviously Naomi Fourcade, who we'll see a bit later, have been pushing each other. Let's see what Eva's got on this arrow. It's a solid shot from Eva. She'll feel good about that. So Eva's our junior national champion for 2014 and 2015.
Great arrow.
And has been part of the GB youth team in both 2014 and 2015. Maybe a star of the future.
9 points.
So a good shot here can see Eva take this set.
6.
Commentator's curse, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so 9 will win it. That'll do. That was over quite quickly for Amy. Amy would be quite happy with that.
Unfortunately, you can't give anybody an opening like Eva gave Amy then, otherwise she's going to close the door on you.
Straight sets. Amy Oliver. Winning this afternoon's semi-final competition.
Yeah, Amy smiles now. She's happy. She's got all her family here watching her today. I've just been speaking to her grandfather and her grandmother. She comes from good archery stock. There's a number of GB archers running through her bloodline, shall we say? So she's if you could argue about genetics having a strong grounding in success in the sport, then I think you'd use Amy as the poster girl in that respect.
Yeah, and she's the National Series champion for 2013 and I believe 2014 as well, so she's on for a hat-trick this year.
Yeah, it'd be great to see. I think it would really it'd be a good way to end the year for her from a target archery perspective. I don't know if she's on the team to go to the European fields later on this year.
I don't think she is.
I know Naomi's going.
Yeah, I think that Amy's decided to concentrate on her target and give the field a miss this year. So next matchup we've got Briony Pittman against Lisa Cooper. Briony ranked 3 in the standings with some solid performances. First place in Leg 2 and a 3rd place in Stage 6.
Welcome to the stage on target 1.
And we've got Lisa Cooper, who has been really solid throughout the National Series, and this is her first appearance as well.
Lisa didn't attend stages 5 and 6, and she was out at the IFAA European Championships where she picked up a number of medals. So she's quite an established field shooter, as well as a solid target shooter as well. I first saw Briony shooting last year at the Telford Indoor European Archery Festival, and I noticed she's got a hugely competitive streak, and she shot really, really well during that. And I also watched her at Oxford in round 2 the round which she went on to win, and I see her as a star of the future and possibly a good contender for the third slot on the ladies' team in the near future.
Yep, she's a youth Olympian. She won team gold at the World Field Champs and European silver with the team. Lisa, I believe, has actually been selected for GB for the European Fields next month.
7 points.
Okay, again, everybody's drifting a little to the right on the main field.
7.
And a bit high.
Yeah. I mean, the actual practice field is a bit undulating, isn't completely flat. So maybe that's why we're getting the differences in height here. And obviously it's set in a different direction, so you can't really set your windage over there for this finals field. I think this could be a close match.
I think so. Yeah, I don't think Lisa's going to let her have an easy ride at this. They've both got that competitive streak that's going to make this probably one of the more interesting matches in the early stages of the day.
They both seem quite comfortable on the stage at the moment. Okay, so that's first set to Briony Pittman.
I think she might have rescued that shot a bit there. I think that could have been wayward. But it's just going to be nerves in the initial stages. So hopefully, I think in the first round it's a case of the person that wins is going to be the person that settles the earliest and just gets into their rhythm.
And again, Briony will have been on these sort of stages before with the GB youth team, whereas Lisa probably hasn't seen a stage like this.
Sure, I think being a younger archer, perhaps she's had a little bit more support and encouragement in this sort of arena, whereas the more experienced and seasoned archers, they're in a way they're left to go out and find the shoots themselves. So there's a number of archers that are here today that have grafted hard over the last year to get themselves into this finals, and might necessarily have had the same level of support from coaches and the performance infrastructure as the others.
And that's the nice thing about the national series. It always, with the top 8 making the finals, there's always going to be the odd surprise or person that you don't expect to be there.
Sure, and I think it will be useful if they can get a bit more encouragement and support after doing something like this, because they've obviously made a declaration to themselves and a commitment to shooting well and competing at the higher levels. So it's good to see.
Yep. Okay, so we got a pair of 9s on the board. So the set's tied at the moment. And I think that Lisa's just hanging on just that little bit too long at the moment. I think it's just before the buzzer.
Got that one. So they get 20 seconds per arrow to shoot as well. I think we should mention that at the start. So the pressure's on the archer. As soon as the horn goes, they've got to deliver.
Okay.
So Lisa might find a way in here.
She can
rescue this set. That'll make the match a little bit more interesting.
That little better shot.
Yeah.
8 points.
I think she'll take that actually, because Briony can only draw now. Okay, 2 sets, 2 points each.
As you said, we thought this would be one of the closer matches.
Yeah. Okay, so I think Lisa's starting to look a little bit relieved. She's got some points on the board, and I think she's going to start to find her rhythm and take the game to Briony now.
So just in the screenshot then was Woollerton Hall, obviously in Nottingham, and Nottingham hosts the European Archery Championships next May.
Should be a great event. It's going to be the key continental qualifier for the Rio Games, which is even more important now than ever, given GB's performance at the World Championships, where there were some qualification places and some quota places on the table for Rio, and we didn't capitalise on that. We came away with no places. So the pressure's on really to capture some of those places. So we've got a team that we can send to the Olympic Games.
Yeah, it's going to be a home game, so hopefully the support will be there for the archers, and they'll be able to have their families around them as well, which I think helps.
Possibly not. We'll have to see how it pans out. It's certainly going to be very interesting. It is make or break time for Team GB in that respect.
Yeah. Obviously, we've had a new PD come in recently, and we'll see over the coming months what happens with the structure of our sport. So, Lisa looking to stay close to Briony. That's good shooting.
She's doing. She's not going to lie down and let Briony take this. She's going to have a fight in her hands.
The door's open now for Lisa. It's a nice solid shot. The thing that goes through your mind though is all I need to do is hit that yellow.
Yeah, I think just big strong shots when you're out there, and just see how it takes. Oh, she's left it open for her there. So
tied
25
set.
each. Going to make a meal of it, which is nerve-wracking for the archers, but for the spectators and hopefully for those of you at home, it makes life a bit more interesting.
So, to win a match, you need 6 set points, and obviously after the 5 sets, if it's all square, we go to a 1 arrow shoot-off, which could be quite exciting.
Which is always great when you're shooting at yourself.
I always get somebody else to choose my arrow for me.
Yeah, there's no hiding places when you get to that scenario. You've just got to. You get 1 arrow, and it's not a question of score. It's a question of how close you are to the centre. Right at the very centre of the target, there's a little X, so it's the closest to that X that wins it. So you could both hit a good 10, but if you're further away, you're packing your bow away, I'm afraid.
Right, so we're into set number 4 now, all tied. Let's see what Briony can do. 10.
Good start.
Great start from Briony. Pressure now on Lisa. Ooh.
Just out.
That's a great arrow.
Great effort. That was a strong arrow, that. Very good.
Briony looking nice and relaxed on the stage, taking in the atmosphere. It's great shooting by both
Brilliant.
archers.
Superb. Strong arrow again. Oh, fantastic. 29.
So a 10 to tie the set for Lisa. Yes.
Oh, brilliant. That's what people have come here to watch.
Absolutely brilliant.
I think we got this right. We said this was going to be one of the better matches to watch, so I think we may be right in that respect.
So we're just waiting for the scores to be announced and official and on the board, and then we'll be moving into the final set. So, who's your money on, Martin?
It's difficult to say at this point. I think I'm going to put smart money on. Let me just get a coin out and flip it.
Okay, we'll let the arrows do the talking.
Yeah, we'll let the arrows do the talking. They know more than we do.
Both archers looking pretty relaxed. Okay, so Briony wants to get off to a good start here in this final set. When
you're doing this format in in a competition format rather than a finals format. It's very easy to just shoot your own arrows and be blissfully unaware, if you choose to be, of what your competitor's doing. But when you've got a commentator blaring out each arrow as it lands, there's no hiding places. You're aware all the time of how your competitor's doing, so you've always got that in your face while you're trying to find your own rhythm as well.
I think the nerves are just showing in this final set a little
Yeah,
bit for
definitely.
both of them.
I think it's going to be a case of who wants it more than they're scared of it, I think.
Yeah, it's like it for most people. So
Briony's got a point on.
Yeah.
Strong arrow. That'll do.
She's
Got it.
She's done it.
Lovely arrow. Yeah, definitely one to watch in the future, I think.
And Lisa has shot well as well.
She has. She hasn't given her the victory. She's made it work for it. 6-4. A 6-4 scoreline is always a sign of a good match of people slugging it out. 6-0, like we saw earlier, it goes a lot quicker. You tend to think maybe there's a bit of an imbalance in the ability of the competitors, but 6-4, there's been a good match there.
I think on a finals field as well, everything happens a lot quicker than when you're just shooting in your early round head-to-heads at one of the stages, because your arrows are being collected for you, your scoring's being done for you, and within 10 minutes it can all be over.
It's all done. Yeah, you could be. The bow could be away. You could be on your way home now, really. Hopefully they're not. They're going to stick around and watch a bit more of the action today.
So next up, we have Nikki Hunt and Sally Gilder. Again, experienced versus youth. Nikki, probably better known for her compound career, where she was world number 1. Moved over to Recurve in 2010. And then we have Sally Gilder, who I believe is one of our archers that is making a move at the moment. She's a
finalist here last year.
She's only 19,
year, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's only 19 years old. She's seeded 4. Has a best 70-meter round of 6:27. So let's see what this again. I think could be a close match.
Yeah, she's got a great homegrown support network, Sally. Her parents are extremely supportive, and she's been coached pretty much from the start of her career by Steve Hallard, who is, many of you will probably know, is probably one of the greatest archers GB's ever produced. Won numerous Olympic medals and the World Championship silver in the individual. Very, very, very highly rated coach.
Okay, looks like Sally has opted to go second.
So did they get a choice then?
Yeah, the higher ranked archer will get a choice of whether they want to go first or second. I suppose there's pros and cons for both. A lot of people choose to go first because in the event of a shoot-off, your arrow will be on the target first.
Sure.
And also, if you go first, get a good arrow down there, it gives your opponent something to think about.
Yeah. I think she hit her arm then on that arrow. She got a 7 with that one. She got a little groove. I don't know what she's going to make of that.
Yeah.
I remember Sally went out in the first round last year in a 1-arrow shoot-off. So I think she came away. She was quite disappointed with that. I think she's here to make amends this year. Nikki, interestingly, made the finals last year, but opted not to compete.
I believe she was ill.
Yeah.
She had a medical condition that meant that she couldn't compete last year.
It's great to see her here today, and hopefully she's going to try and make amends for her absence last year. Okay, got a few nerves to get out of the way of the first set there. So the first set goes to Nikki.
Yeah, it's nice to see Sally smiling. She's talking to her coach, getting rid of those first nerves, the adrenaline.
It's all experience, isn't it? I see this has been a foundation for for the development of people like Sally and also Briony as well, because they're going to be spending more and more time in their championship shot, living the championship shot in events like this, so that in later international events they're all used to it, and it's like an everyday occurrence for them.
And what better experience than to have Steve Hallard in your corner, because he can talk you through those moments. He's been there, he's done it.
I think that's an invaluable factor in the successful development of any of these archers, is that they're getting support and encouragement from people who have actually been there. And perhaps we need to do that a little bit more.
Okay, I'm just wondering whether it's getting a little breezy out there.
Looks like it's kicking up a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think as the day progresses and the air warms up a bit, and we may get a bit more breeze. I'm sure a lot of the compound archers that are going to be here tomorrow are watching the coverage just to get a handle on the conditions, and they're also probably thinking why we've changed the venue on the grounds as well. We probably hadn't realised that.
I think primarily the venue has changed so that we can attract more public, because behind the house, although it was a nice setting and good for the archers, the public really didn't get drawn into it. So
Sure.
Here, hopefully we're going to get people viewing our sport that haven't seen our sport before. And obviously, with Nottingham round the corner next year at the Europeans, it's a good taster for them.
I think it's a great way of raising the profile of the sport within the city, given that we've got the Europeans here next year.
Okay, so Nikki shooting consistently and takes the second set. Sally's got a long way to go on her journey. Still, at 19 is young, and probably hasn't been on a finals field as many times as Nikki has. But hopefully, she continues to work hard with Steve, then the results will come.
Absolutely, and just getting here at all represents a huge achievement for all the archers that have come here this week, especially the less established ones that have planned this season with this as being their major milestone of the season. We're going to see some later that some of the guys as well that. Especially one of the guys come down from Scotland, and let's face it, all the qualification rounds this year have all been in the south of England. So one of the guys has done over 2,000 miles of travelling just to be a part of this event.
There we go. That's a great opening arrow from Sally.
Hopefully Sally's calmed down a bit now, and she's going to start putting some strong arrows in. Let's see what Nikki can do to reply with.
7.
Okay, so a 2-point lead for Sally. Let's see, another nice, strong, confident shot from Sally. That's okay.
There's a bit of a reverb on the string there. I think she caught her arm again. Left the door open for Sally to jump through. That was a cracking hour. Superb. Right, I think we've got another match on here.
It's not enough though. Sally
10,
takes
but it's
the
too
set.
late. Sure.
And Nikki leads Sally 4-2. So maybe Sally's just settling down a little bit at this moment in time. Any questions out there from us? Tweet us on the AGB Twitter account, and we'll do our best to answer any questions.
AGB Nat Series.
Okay. So obviously Nikki has got Songy, one of the coaches at Archery GB in the coaches box for her, somebody that she works closely with a lot of the time. And Sally has Steve Hallard. So moving into the fourth set, and Sally to shoot first. She was a little more confident in that set.
9 points.
That's okay. That's a good first arrow down.
She's just focusing on getting strong shots out there now.
10.
It's a 10 from Nikki, so a good reply. Okay, that's okay. Maybe a click or two on her sight.
Yeah, she looks like she's just drifting up a little bit, isn't she?
I think those shots have been stronger though
9 points.
than the earlier sets. So that's okay. So a 9 to win this set and the match. And
She's left the door open for her now.
That's 4 set points each.
Ladies and gentlemen, with 4 set points apiece between Sally Gilder.
You could see a little tension creep into that final shot with Nikki, knowing that she could close it out. And now we move on to a 5th set, and anybody's game.
Indeed, it's now it's a case of who's mentally stronger to go have a 4-0 lead and to effectively give 4 points away. It's now going to be a question of for Nikki just to remain positive, shoot strong arrows, and hold the nerve, and just go and have a go really, and disregard everything that's gone on beforehand. It's down to 3 arrows. You want to close it down now. You don't want to put it down to 1 if you can help it.
Okay, so it'll be Nikki shooting first because we revert to the original shooting order as it's all square. Let's see if she can get a good shot downrange. Okay, nice solid 9 from Nikki. That's good. Okay, so door's slightly open for Nikki
just a bit
now.
of overemphasis on that shot there, I think. A bit too strong, perhaps.
Okay.
That's a good arrow.
Yeah,
That's
good
a good
arrow
arrow.
from Nikki.
I think it might be the experience might be coming through here.
Good fight back.
Good stuff.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet, no. Okay, let's see if Nikki can put it away.
Holding. Good shot.
Oh, yeah, she got it. She wasn't happy with it, but
good finish.
Cracking arrow to finish with there. Great stuff. That was a good quality match there, giving the crowd a lot to sit up and take interest in. Like I said, when it's great for the competitors, it's not necessarily exciting for the people watching. But when the competitors make it hard work, the crowds get something to watch and they can start to root for people.
Yep, so 3 of our semi-finalists already decided. Moving on to our final quarter-final, we have probably the best archer in the country at the moment, or has been for a while, Naomi Fulcard. Both renowned in target and field archery, numerous international medals, against Wendy Aubrey.
I met Wendy earlier this year and I was amazed at how long she'd been shooting for. She's been in archery 2.5 years and she's at the Archery GB National Series finals already. She's absolutely fantastic. She's so focused and enjoys shooting so much, and just seeing her here to make the finals is all credit to her. She's done brilliantly.
Okay, so really Wendy with nothing to lose in this match. Naomi obviously has been on this stage many times before. A 3-time Olympian.
She's been in every final here in the National Series. 7 appearances. She's won 14 stages over the 7 years that it's been ran. She came in. She won the first stage, second at the second. She wrapped up the 6th stage with a good win as well.
So Naomi gone with Lloyd Brown in the coach's box.
And Wendy's got her coach that took her on a beginner's course 2.5 years ago. Who'd have thought that they'd be here today? Certainly not Wendy, I suspect.
10 points.
That's a great start from Naomi, 10. And a little wry smile as well.
Five. 9 points.
So Naomi looks like she means business.
Yeah, I think Naomi's seeing this as a warm-up, really. Hopefully Wendy will get into the groove of things shortly and start to give her a bit of a challenge.
5 points.
So Naomi appears to be the only person on the field that hasn't gone right.
I think Naomi may well have been watching what everybody's doing if she's used their experience.
8
Just a
points.
touch high, but yeah, she's definitely in the line. The wind's certainly kicking up a bit now as well. I don't know if these styles of flags that they've got going down the range are a bit of a red herring, really, because certainly the windsock's a bit more indicative of what the wind direction's doing.
Yeah, and the windsock is probably about 2/3 of the way down.
Yeah.
Right, so a first set to Naomi full card with 27 points to Wendy's 19. Obviously, Wendy will settle the nerves on that set and hopefully come out in the second set and shoot how she's been shooting through the legs of the National Series this year. Earned her spot in 8th place with some good finishes. Naomi to finish 2015 strongly, or that's what she's hoping for, and I believe that she's going out to Poland in October to be part of the team for the European Field Champs.
These two archers met in stage 5 at Exmouth just a couple of weeks ago. Naomi beat her 6-0 in the quarterfinals, but it was enough to give Wendy enough points to qualify here. She qualified with 110 points overall to make it into the finals.
And it's good to see some of the archers that we don't know making these finals.
Yeah, I think it's been going for 7 years now, and it's an established format on the circuit. So a lot of archers that are coming into the sport, they see this as the norm, and they don't. If you try to explain try to get across to them the fact that we didn't used to have these, we used to just have 2 days worth of shooting without a head-to-head format, it probably seem quite alien to them. So a lot of these archers have been brought up with this newer format of the sport as the norm, and they're used to it, and they rise to the challenge as if it's always been there. There's been more of a difficulty perhaps for some of the more seasoned or older archers that have seen some changes with the sport over the last couple of years, and to take into account these new changes in the format.
Okay, so I think Naomi needs to have a click on her site. Quite an expensive bit of kit if you don't use it.
Yeah, it's not a dull stop.
7 points.
Right then. So Naomi needs a 10 here just to tie. So the door could be open for Wendy here. And it is.
9 points.
Second set to Wendy.
Second set to Wendy, however, and draws the match level with 2 set points apiece.
So that's a nice settler for Wendy, and obviously Naomi. Everything seems, if you look at her target face, is in the top half. So she needs to move that side. So Naomi has placed third at the World Field Champs in 2006, 12 and 14. Second at the World Fields in 2010. A silver medal at the European Target Champs in 2006, 2008 and 2012. A member of the team that won silver at the Commonwealth Games. So the list is endless, really.
And Wendy's from Lancashire, so she's hard as nails and she knows what she's doing.
And she's been a member of the England team.
Yeah, she represented England this year at the Euronations event in Scotland.
So let's see, back to the original shooting order with Naomi shooting first. There we go.
There we go.
Not a lot of left and right on Naomi's target, just a little bit high, so hopefully she's sorted that out.
8 points.
And again, if you look at Wendy's target, most of the arrow holes are high.
Strong arrow.
9 points.
Really good. Yeah, I think Naomi's going to start to show her class towards the end of this match now.
She's consistent, and if you can't give her any chances, because she will bury you.
Yeah.
9 points.
And I'm fortunate enough to have Naomi in my coach's box tomorrow.
How do you feel about that currently?
You know, I'm feeling good about it. I'm confident, and all I can do is go and shoot my best tomorrow. And having soaked up the atmosphere today, hopefully I won't go high or right.
It's an 8 and Naomi card now that takes the lead with 4 set points to 2.
So Naomi moves into a 4-2 lead. Good set of arrows from Naomi holding gold. That's what we've come to expect from her, really, though. How many years has Naomi been shooting?
5 million. She's one of the a lot of people associated with the Archery GB performance unit, but prior to that, she was one of the most successful members of an old club called Dunlop, which was one of the most successful clubs of all time, and they had this. I think it was years ahead of its time, really. It was almost an academy sort of mentality, bringing on great, talented young archers. And we talked about Steve Hallard earlier. He was also a member of that club also. And I think the foundations that Dunlop laid down, you can still see them today in some of the archers that are out there.
So Wendy to shoot first with trailing Naomi by 2 set points to 4. Oh, lovely shot
arrow
from Wendy.
She's not going to give it to her, is she?
No.
Naomi's going to have to take it.
And I don't think Naomi would expect anybody to give her a win.
8.
Okay,
You've
so
always
the
got
door's open.
Yeah, you've always got that. You just saw on the screen there. You've always got that clock timing down in front of you.
Yeah. I think Naomi wasn't happy with the shot. She had a little smile and a chat to Lloyd.
9 points.
That's lovely. First 2 arrows from Wendy.
Great
Keeps
stuff.
The pressure on
You can
Naomi.
see why she's here now. She's not here to make the numbers up.
Wind is definitely picking up.
Definitely.
Strong shot from Naomi in that. Again, a little high.
Let's see what Wendy's got. Held it a bit long.
8 points.
That'll do for the set.
Yeah. So we're moving to a deciding set.
Not happy. Not happy with that. She knew. I think she knew as soon as it left the bow that it wasn't going towards the 10.
Okay, so game on.
Game on indeed. I'm not biased, but come on, Wendy. And come on, Naomi.
Okay, so not the set of arrows Naomi would have wanted to have shot, but with her experience, I'm sure she'll bounce back in this final set. And really, as we saw earlier, going into a final set, experience usually tells.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it will be, like I said, at this point it's a case of who wants it the most. I just remember about a couple of weeks ago, Wendy contacted a few of us just with a picture of her bow limbs to say, is this right? And she did, just as an example of how long she's been in the sport, she sent us a picture of the limbs, and the limbs are quite clearly delaminating, but she didn't actually realise it, so she had to go and get some limbs just to go and compete and win a place at Exmouth. So full credit for it for doing that just to get here.
Okay, so door open a little bit now for Wendy. So 9. 1 point lead for Wendy. A solid shot from Naomi.
Touch low. I don't know if she's just overcompensated a bit with the sight, or her head position's moving a bit.
Or the wind. I'm not sure which way the. So tied score going into the last arrow.
Who wants it the most?
Shoot off. I quite fancy a shoot off.
Yeah, we
haven't
had
had
a shoot
one.
off yet, have we?
No. Oh,
superb.
Absolutely.
When she needed it.
Nailed it. What's a long hold?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
That was a great match. Superb. Fair play to Wendy. I don't think anybody was expecting her to take it to Naomi as much as that. It was absolutely great. It's great to watch, and I think she'll come away from that proud that she's had an outstanding match there.
Yeah, I think the first round is always that little bit tricky, but I'm sure, you know, Naomi will take on the experience and then push forward for the semi-final.
Yeah, we've seen Amy, Briony, Nikki and Naomi have displayed the first round smile of relief as they've they're walking off, and they're safe in the knowledge that they don't need to put the bow away just yet. So we've got men's recurve coming up next. In our first round, we've got Kieran Slater against Michael Judd, and I think this is going to be another interesting match as well. Michael Judd is no stranger to Wollerton Hall. He's been in the grand final 3 times. I actually think he's one of the most underrated archers we've got. He puts it on the line week in, week out, domestically, and he's had some great successful appearances in the past. He only did 4 rounds this year, and that was all he needed. We didn't see him at Exmouth. His outstanding performance this year was the first place in the 4th round at Surrey, where he got 12.77 for the 14.40. It was probably one of the windiest days of the year, but he stood up and he shot his arrows, and he had a great win.
Okay, the competitors being announced by our on-field commentator Tim Nash. So Kieran is part of the performance programme at Archery GB. He's competed in 5 of the stages, with a 3rd place at stage 1 and a 2nd place at stage 2 being the notable achievements.
My heart went out a bit to Kieran, really, because at the end of the 6th round at Exmouth, there was, you probably remember Patrick Houston had shot 13.34 and had even put in a new record for 70 metres. So in all the furore surrounding that, Kieran had actually put in a first 1300 1440. He got 1304 to get second place at that event. And he shot really, really well. And I don't think he necessarily got the acknowledgement for that. But he's had an up and down year. But based on that, he should be doing really well today, I would expect.
So that's a 9 and a 6 for Michael, leaving the door open a little bit for Kieran, whose girlfriend in the coach's box. Yep. Michael just seems to be hanging up on his shot a little bit.
He does a bit, doesn't he? He's run out. That was good. That was good, given the pressure he put himself under there. Kieran looks very, very relaxed, very, very business-like.
Yeah.
So his approach today.
First set to Kieran Slater. 26 points to 24. Kieran was part of the bronze medal winning team at the World University Games. And he was our best performing archer at the European Games in Baku, where he finished 9th.
He was the only, wasn't he? He was the only gent recurve that went out there.
Yeah, we only won 4 places?
4 places,
and,
yeah. 3 ladies, 1 gent.
Yeah. So
that was for him.
A good performance there for Kieran. Michael has shot for Great Britain. He was second at last year's 2013. Oh, sorry, second in 2013 GB Series finals, and has shot for England a number of times. Score-wise, for the 70-metre round, these two archers, a good 10 from Michael. Match up quite well. We've got Michael with a 651 and Kieran with a 654. So this again should be a close match.
He's put a lot of pressure on himself there, holding it a little bit longer than you'd expect. Kieran's a very fast shooter.
Okay. That's
He's already
good.
got a 10 for that.
Oh.
Let's have a look.
It's quite tricky from where the spotters are. They're directly behind the target. Seems a lot of tension in Michael's shot today.
He's making it work. He's put his shot together well enough to cope with the pressure. It'd just be nice to see him getting some faster arrows off and getting a bit of rhythm behind it.
So it looks like just a bit of news from the para worlds that Joe Frith and John Walker have become world champions.
Oh, fantastic! Great
So,
news. They've had a great week out there.
Yeah, our paras have secured a number of spots for Rio. I think it's 5, which is fantastic. You know, we've got some world-class archers, obviously, out there. So, and I believe we've got other archers today in medal matches as well. So, good luck. So here we're looking at a tied second set, and Kieran moves into a 3-1 lead over Michael Judd. So we had a little walk about the stage earlier. The sun playing a factor this morning.
It is certainly for right-handed archers, isn't it? It favours the left-handed.
And we'll see our left-handed archer later, Larry.
Strong arrow, that. Very good.
Much better shot from Michael.
I think he's found his mojo now.
Surprising how many times that goes missing.
He's got a very, very distinct way of setting the shot up. He kind of like turns his hips into it before he even attempts to come up to the 3/4 position.
Okay, so leaving the door open a little bit for Kieran to get back into this set.
That's a fast arrow.
Okay, so 1 point in it, going into the final arrows of this set. You can see the feathers just ruffling.
9.
Is that what those flags are called?
I think they're
Look,
called that. They
feathers.
seem to
That
be
could-
moving
yeah.
around a lot
That could
compared
confuse
with
people.
the.
That could confuse people watching this for the first time.
It's a 9. So close.
So,
Well, the Judinator is making his mark.
so tied score, three set points apiece.
Yep, I think he looks a lot more relaxed now. He's ready to. He wants to get going again now.
Oh, he's having a
Yeah,
little
he's even
boogie on
having
the
a
stage.
dance. I didn't know he could.
He's going to do the worm in a minute,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Yeah, he's going. He's at it.
Is that twerking?
Here we go. Something like that. It's twerking for him.
Oh, okay. So, moving into the fourth set now. Obviously,
He's lost in the music.
he
Well,
is,
that's to bring him back.
that's good.
He's caught in a trap.
Okay, so Michael to shoot first on this set. Seems an awful lot of tension through that front arm.
Does, doesn't it?
7.
Yeah, he's got that's 3 he's got out there now. It's interesting to look at the group. Where the good arrows go and where the bad arrows go. Oh, and Kieran's
Well,
decided to join him.
Yeah, but I think looking at the windsock, the wind has moved around a little bit. So when you shoot on a stage surrounded by stands, it's very difficult to gauge what's happening up range.
Sure.
8.
And it looks like the wind has changed direction.
Nine.
Good arrow.
Yeah, good adjustment from Kieran. So, tied score in this set so far.
Yeah, that front arm's going. See if we can get that one off.
9.
Did well.
Hits it in the middle. And he's done it.
Okay. So again, we go down to a final set. And
Yeah.
this is what the public want to see,
Yeah.
close matches.
How many of those have we had now? I think it was only the first match that went
Was it?
6-0, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Final set decider.
Both of these have had experience in National Series finals before, so neither of these are strangers to the finals field.
What do you talk to your coach about when you're waiting for your arrows to
Anything
get
but
scored?
archery, really.
Right.
I'm not sure Naomi knows a lot about compounds. I'll
Might
find out
surprise you.
tomorrow.
She might surprise you. I thought you were going to say she doesn't know anything about archery. But know a lot about anything else.
Can't believe you said that. Right, so moving into the final set. See who's going to make a mark with their first arrows. Just out the 9 ring.
Just drifting over a little bit there, looking at that grouping.
9.
Doors open now. You'll be disappointed with that.
9.
Great grouping from
Great.
Kieran.
Great. There's a day at the office for Kieran here now, I think.
Seven points.
Oh,
Yeah, he wasn't quite sure about that, but yeah, job done.
Semi-final place in the men's recurve competition is secured by Kieran Slater.
29's did it.
think Michael just looked a little more tense than he normally
He did,
does.
didn't he? That's surprising, really, for Michael, because he's had a lot of experience and exposure to this level of competition. So perhaps something just had a little bit, unnerved for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, we all get a day at the office that we're not particularly happy with, and he'll move on and finish the season strongly, I'm sure. So our next match is Nottingham boy George Harding against Bradley Denny. So both of these on the performance programme.
The local boy from Nottingham University, two-time British indoor champion, George Harding!
He was the poster boy for this event last year, wasn't he?
He was, yes. He was seeded 3 going into these finals with a stage win in Oxford and in Exmouth. And then
he beat Larry 7-3 in the finals in the second round at Oxford. That was a great win.
Brad is seeded 6 with a podium finishes at stage 3 in Surrey and stage 5 in Exmouth. So
Brad had a great run at Surrey. I seem to remember he dispatched each of the visiting French team members who were visiting the UK on a training camp, and they came and took part in the third round. And the 3 French ladies all podiumed, and all 3 Frenchmen fell to Brad.
And he's the recent winner of the first youth festival as well, Brad.
Yeah, he was. I watched him in the final last week. He had a great week. He beat Patrick Houston in the final. I seem to remember. Let's see what he's brought with him today.
A lot of weight on his V-bars.
Oh, I picked his bow up last week, and I got halfway to picking it up, and I needed some help. It's a huge amount of weight. It's becoming more and more of a trend now to have these masses of weight. And the idea is to
and a lot out of just
off
the back
of
the grip as well.
My only concern is that a lot of these guys they can handle all this now, but if they have a couple of days out of training and they don't warm up at the start of the next session, there's more of a chance they're going to sustain shoulder injuries. So they've really got to be disciplined if they're going to run with that amount of weight on the kit.
That's Brad taking the first set there.
9 points.
Quite quick, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I'm messing about.
The first set then, ladies and gentlemen, goes to Brad Denny to open up a 2-point, 2-0 advantage.
He seems quite chilled out with life.
Brad, yeah, generally he is. He's got quite a good temperament for this format of competition. I think I see him as. I think Brad could quite easily become a regular on the senior team. He's certainly got a lot of potential. I think in the future we could probably see both he and Patrick being regulars on the senior team for the next couple of years, possibly towards 2020.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll see Patrick later and talk about him later, but Brad is 19 years old, so still competing as a junior, and hopefully he'll make the finals as a junior, and that'll help prepare him.
8 points.
Right in the middle of the 8 there.
Let's see. Brad just seems to be shooting solid. So George from Nottingham University, obviously.
10 points.
That was a good arrow. The dismount was a bit dubious. I wasn't sure.
Exciting,
I
think.
Yeah. I was expecting that level of follow through from Brad. Brad's done some corkers in the past. Perhaps we'll see some of those if he gets through to the later round.
Competition for follow through of the day, couldn't we?
Yep, there's another.
Oh,
there you go.
Lovely bit of steering. Fantastic.
I don't think that'll make the coach's manual.
No. Okay, so we're now 2-all. And I would say that the steering's due to the wind, but there doesn't appear to be much out there.
It's just whenever they do that, it's just overcompensating for a weaker aspect of the shot. Maybe they've lost a little bit of balance while they're releasing, and they've subconsciously twitched to try and bring the arrow back in line. Seemed to work. And a lot of archers have done it in the past. I wouldn't necessarily suggest it as part of your standard technique.
I'm sure we'll see some more tomorrow with the compounds.
If it's windy, I've no doubt.
We're in the grounds of Woollerton Hall in Nottingham. I believe it was Wayne Manor in one of the Batman films.
Yeah. Last time I saw this, it was burning to the ground. They obviously got a stunt double in for that shot.
Okay. Better shot
Good
from
shot.
Brad.
Good shot.
Not entirely sure.
I think he's baked that follow through into his shot now. He can't really. If it looks like the perfect shot, it's probably going to be in the 6.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
7 points.
Obviously, not quite happy with the balance of his shot.
That's a good arrow. That's a good arrow. It's a shame.
So George needs a 9 here. Okay, so tied score on this this set, and we're 3-all, moving into set 4. Another tight match, but then we've been expecting these to be tight.
Yeah, looking at the remaining men's matches that we've got this morning, I don't think nobody's going to run away with a win at all. Really, we've only seen one 6-0 result so far. I'm not really expecting to see any more. They're all good competitors. Going to be quite interesting to see Patrick Houston up next with Stuart Barbie. They both had great years.
Okay, so stands filling up. We're just about to watch Brad open up set 4.
9.
Solid shot from Brad. Okay. Doors open for Brad now to really push ahead in this.
That's a borderline 8.
That's okay.
If we have a look at that, we might have only just got a 7 for that. It's definitely a 7.
Okay. It's difficult to see because we're looking at a TV screen, so there we go. Set done. Okay, so George has got to take the next set to force a shoot off, and Brad just needs to tie the next set to secure his place in the semi-finals.
I'll have to say that Brad looks a little bit more composed and a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, his shot is going is much smoother. George just seems to be a little bit...
Seems a bit distracted, I think. His body language doesn't seem to suggest he's particularly comfortable up there at the moment. It can all turn on a single arrow, can't it? Especially in this format. So.
Okay, so got some of our youth judges.
I was going to say, is it me or are the judges looking younger?
I think that's us getting older, isn't it, Martin? Okay, so moving into the 5th and final set. Brad leading 5-3, just needing to tie this set. And George needs to put some good arrows down. Okay, so door open for Brad.
10 points.
He wasn't expecting that, was he?
No, he wasn't. There's been a few surprise shots today.
Yeah. Can get away with them now, but I don't think they're going to be able to
It's a good comeback
count
from
on
George.
those. Yeah, they're not going to be able to count on those in the later stages. So hopefully, whoever goes through, the confidence will go up a bit and they'll be a bit more comfortable later on. Good arrow.
Yeah. I have to say, out of the pair of them, Brad has looked the more comfortable and the more consistent.
9 points.
I'm going to put it away then. It's a 7.
Shoot off.
Okay, so Brad obviously wants to do some more shooting up here before he goes through to the next round.
Yep, tie break, shoot off.
So, for the benefits of those that haven't seen one of these before, it's very simple. One arrow, closest to the middle.
Okay. So we'll revert to the original shooting order. More news in from the World Paras. Mel Clark and John Stubbs are silver medalists.
Fantastic.
So
I
the
hope
Paras...
they've got a good baggage allowance for all this hardware that they're going to be bringing home with them.
Yeah,
all this
Paras
extra weight.
bringing home the bling.
Okay, so 6 rounds of qualification over 3 weekends.
Comes down to 1 arrow.
Comes down to 1 arrow.
Great shot from Brad.
Fantastic.
Just out of the X ring.
There you go. There's Brad's.
And I think
Well deserved.
yeah, and I think actually looking at that match, Brad actually shot the better of the two.
I'm looking forward to seeing him in the next round. He'll be happy now, relieved that he's. Because the thing is, when you go through the first round, you're guaranteed 2 more matches as well, aren't you? So you either go through the semis to the gold, silver, or you're going to be in the bronze match. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he produces in the next couple of matches.
Okay, so next up we have Patrick Houston and Stuart Barbie. Patrick recently broke the 70-metre world record with 3:48.
From Belfast, the world, European and national record holder for the 70-metre round,
Man of the moment.
Patrick Houston!
Okay, so he's rocking some new shades there.
From Edinburgh, Stuart Barbie!
This is probably the most well-travelled finalist I've ever seen. 2,500 miles of travelling he's done to compete in this event this year. He's based in Edinburgh. All of the rounds were down in the southern part of England. He's constantly been on the road to do this event. All credit to him. He's had some great wins. He won the first round in Oxford. and he shot a PB in the last round at Exmouth as well. Great shot. A lot of people will notice probably that he's using a swing bar, which he was using quite a lot last year, and then he started using it again towards the second part of the season. And they're few and far between in this country. It always generates a second look from people when you see people using them. But he's using it to great effect, and hopefully he's going to come out fighting today. But he's going to have to do a bit better than that against Patrick.
Patrick's laid his intentions down.
Yeah. Back at you.
Ooh, we're going to see our first 10-10
Could well do.
of the day.
First 3 arrows. And it's in. Fantastic.
10-10-10.
Okay, so Patrick Houston has arrived on field.
I think it might be a problem for Stuart Barbie. Okay, we got Sue Richards as the judge in charge of this match. Okay, so perfect first set from Patrick, and Stuart just needing to dial it in a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be where do you go from there, really? If your opponent opens up with the 30, you've just got to focus in on your own shooting now and just shoot some strong shots and put a group together.
Yeah, and a little tension through his front
Yeah.
arm.
Relocated to Lilleshall late last year, and he's been training full time. Patrick has, and those results of that training and that dedication he's been putting in is really starting to show through now. I think in a way it's a little bit late in the year. I'd like to have seen how people on the world stage would have reacted to him as he is at the moment, because he's really starting to show his class, and the future's bright with Patrick.
Well, we still have one more World Cup this year, and we'll wait for an
yeah,
announcement to
Colombia?
see if any of our archers get selected to go to that.
I think it'd be a wise investment to send him, just as a way of rounding off a great year for him, and also give him that exposure that he deserves and that he yearns as well. Because I think it's very, very pragmatic in what he does, and he's very, the motivation that he's got is very intrinsic. And I think even if he wasn't trained at Lilleshall and none of that existed, he'd still shoot well. He all of the support and encouragement he gets just augments his attitude and the work that he does. He doesn't, it's not a be all and end all. He'd shoot well no matter what.
Yeah, and he's one of the few recurve archers, along with Naomi, that actually do an indoor season as well. And I think that just helps you to stay sort of competition fit, as it were. Your brain's still in that competition mode.
Yeah, you're still in your competition shot, aren't you?
Yeah.
He did the National Series stage at Exmouth, and then he drove straight down to Lilleshall, and he was in the youth festival for a week after. So he must have been living his competition shot. It would have been 9 days of competition in total, and that's a hell of a run. But, you know, he's just lapping it up at the moment.
He looks confident, doesn't
He does. Yeah.
Again, everybody drifting just that bit to the right. He is quite a character as well, is Patrick. And a nice guy to talk to.
Yeah, he's keen as mustard. He comes down to my club during the week. He doesn't have to, but he comes down, then he comes down just for a break to get away from the performance unit, and he's coaching a lot of guys down at my club as well, and you know, he gives a lot back, and it's great to see. And I think he does that just out of enjoyment of the sport. There's no, he doesn't need to do that. Yeah, he's on singing today, isn't he? He's fantastic. Well, I'm disappointed for Stuart. I think he's made a bit of a brick wall there, and I think perhaps he knew it. But what an opening round for Patrick. And he's off straight away. He's out of there. He just wants to possibly get back to the practice field, do a bit more shooting. I know that when he's shooting well, he likes to shoot a lot, or maybe he just wants to get away for a bit and get away from it all.
Yeah, well, they're not due to be back on for another 2.5 hours for the semi-final, the men. So probably have a little break.
Yeah, that's a hell of a break actually. They're going to have to start their entire mental sequence off again, I think.
That's the difficulty when you're shooting like World Cup events, that you end up shooting a couple of rounds and then you come back the next day, shoot another couple of rounds, and it's that person that can switch themselves on and get their shot sequence working early that prevail. So now we have one of GB's most decorated archers, Larry Godfrey, and
he is the governor.
new father of twins. Probably why he's wearing shades, because to hide the bags under his eyes from all the sleepless nights.
He's probably come here to get a bit of peace and quiet, I'd imagine.
And young Tom Howes, one of our academy archers.
Now, I hold Tom Howes in a great deal of esteem. I personally rate him as one of the best archers in the world, and the only reason I'm saying that is he knocked me out in stage 5. So.
That's not a reason. So we can see the two coaches. Larry's gone with his father in the coach's box, so it's lovely to see. Share some family time. And,
I think he's brought his dad every year, hasn't he?
He has,
yeah.
and that's lovely, because I think they've supported him so much throughout his career.
Yeah, Larry's done 7 grand final appearances, so he's been here every year as well, like Naomi has. Let's see what Larry's brought to the party then.
9 points.
So Larry seeded 1 for this. To be honest with you, his 4 stages, he had 2 seconds to 3 seconds and a first.
Yeah, he was done by the 3rd stage, wasn't he? He was in the final. Yeah, great bit of consistency from him in the earlier part of the year.
And then obviously taking a little break while his twins were born.
Yeah, he pulled out. He qualified for the world champs and he was on the team, but I think his partner, the birth was so imminent. It was just had to withdraw so that he could be there for the birth of the twins.
9 points.
Okay, so Tom, one more solid shot to take this first
chance
set.
here.
And Tom's got Roy Nash in the coach's box, which a man of experience.
Roy was one of the coaches on the Euro Cup, the Youth Cup trip that it went on earlier in the year, and I think they hit it off really, really well. And Tom Howes holds Roy in a lot of high esteem, and he asked him specifically to come in and be in the box for him at this event. another example of the older, experienced internationals being involved in bringing these young archers on and supporting them, which is great to see.
Yeah, you know, with Patrick and Brad shooting well, and obviously Tom, who's only 18, the future could be bright for GB in the men's recurve.
Needs brightening up a bit, doesn't it?
Right, so second set, Larry to shoot first. Larry fourth at the 2004 Olympic Games. Loves the big stage.
Yeah, I remember him at Lord's pretending to bat a ball that on the wicket, and all the crowd were cheering him on in between matches. He had a great run at the Olympic Games. His best ever run was his fourth at Athens, and I was jumping off the sofa watching that. I quite remember it quite well, willing him on, but he just wasn't to be, sadly. But together with Simon Terry and Alan Wills, they had some great success about 10 years or so ago.
And Alan's still competing in the field.
Yeah,
field archery.
Yeah. Does it for the love of it.
That's good enough to
Right,
take
that'll
this
do.
set.
I think, yeah, Larry's starting to dial it in a bit now. Tom's going to have a bit of work to do.
It's a solid shot to finish the set. So 2 sets down and 2 points each. We're going to have another close match by the looks of it. Don't know much about Tom. He's got a silver at the Youth International in 2014. This is his first year of making the GB Series finals, and his best 70-metre round is 6:36.
There's another example of these archers that have come into the sport and they've known no format other than this, and I think it's probably going to be quite refreshing to for the sport. You got to won't be happy with that. Yeah, so you're going to have effectively a generation of archers that have lived and been introduced to the sport with this format, and they know no other format. And I think that's going to, as they grow into the sport, they're going to be always thinking about competitions in a head-to-head format other than in any other. And I think it's that outlook and that aspect of how they actually look at it that's going to give them some success in the future. They're going to see archery as being a match play sport rather than anything else.
So Larry can seal it up here,
Nice
and
one.
does
Good
so.
It's a time, and Archery extends his lead. 4 set points to 2.
So Larry leading 4-2, and looking comfortable.
Yeah, I think Tom's got to just keep shooting strong arrows, and I don't think he's going to challenge Larry for this now. Larry seems to be in the zone, but who knows?
So we're 3 sets down, 4 set points to Larry. and 2 for Tom. Right, moving into the full set, Tom really needs to start shooting some good arrows to try and put a bit of pressure on Larry. Have you tried these peeler shades?
Yes, I did indoors. I think you can get different. You can get different. So everybody seems to be opting for the blue ones.
There are 2 shades of blue, I believe.
Oh, really? Oh, can you tune them?
You can.
My biggest concern is I'd spend all day wearing those, and I'd forget to put any sun cream on the rest of my face, and then I'd spend a week looking like
A superhero.
well, yeah, something like or words to that effect. Ooh.
Oh,
Cracking arrow. He wasn't good. He wasn't quite sure about that, but he managed to trick it out. He was getting a nod of approval off his dad there, so. He's holding on a bit now. Oh, good dismount.
I think that might be the dismount of the
Yeah,
day
so far. So good. Okay, we're going to
Let's
see
see.
another
30. I hope so.
Strong arrow.
Yeah, 10-10-10 from
Fantastic.
Larry Godfrey.
Excellent.
So that's Larry through to the semi-finals. Hug from his dad. Sounds like a 21 gun salute over there. Right, so that's all of the quarterfinals finished now. Let's have a quick recap of our semi-finalists. So we've got Amy Oliver, Briony Pittman, Nikki Hunt, Naomi Fulcard, Kieran Slater, Brad Denny, Patrick Houston and Larry Godfrey. There'll be some good matchups this afternoon.
Yeah, like I said, hopefully everybody's relaxed a bit now because they know they're going to get 2 matches each, and they can start enjoying the event, enjoying the exposure that they're going to get, and also enjoying the competition. Now, I believe the next part of the day, we've got some of the
Youth mixed trios.
Some of the youth of today. There was a youth festival held at Lilleshall all of last week, and the guys that were competing in the 720 round, based on their performance on that, they were put into teams, and the most successful teams during that festival are going to be doing an exhibition match during the course of today.
And these matches will be starting at 12:40. So from Martin and myself, we'll wrap up this morning's session and be back to commentate at 12:40.